What is up guys, Deadset here, this time with a preliminary update to my beloved Lord Commander build. I've got the new shield, the new gem and the new ring. I'm not going to attack even once. Let's see how my Phalanx guys do. The new changes Blizzard made have significantly increased the uniqueness, flavor and overall viability of the Lord Commander build. Just to get you all up to speed, the demonstration is done in the patch 2.1 PTR that is currently up for testing. On the test realm, you can try out the new legendary gems, as well as some of the seasonal legendaries that will be first introduced in the ladder. I'll quickly go over the changes that I made from my previous Lord Commander iteration, and as usual, I'll go over the skills first. Most noticeably, I've gone back to the Phalanx Bowman rune, as for the first time since the changes to the rally rune of Akarat's champion, we are able to have 100% uptime of Bowman. The Stampede rune is very much alive and well, but I consciously moved away from it to get more utility out of my Tasker and Theo gloves, which were mostly interchangeable in the previous version, and of course to differentiate this build further from the traditional spender builds. Now it truly feels like a pet build. You're an actual commander with an army behind your back. Since this is a pure cooldown build, I removed Unstoppable Force in favor of Critical for my Laws of Valor rune, and since I can't run Unity with this setup and I don't need the Wrath regeneration, I replaced Embodiment of Power with the tanky powerhouse called Prophet for my Akarat's champion. You are probably wondering about my empty left-click slot. This is only done for demonstrational purposes, in order not to distract you from the performance of Phalanx with the new items. In regular circumstances, I would probably fill this slot with a heavy-hitting physical skill like the Pound rune of Shield Bash, or go for a crossover with the Firestarter build. Even though the Phalanx are not going to proc it, the simple addition of Fist of Heavens is still going to add a nice smattering of damage. For this video, I'll be the lazy general and just leave it empty. In the passives department, I simply replaced Wrathful for Long Arm of the Law. Having no spenders means Wrathful is useless to me, and as most pet builds are, the Lord Commander is extremely safe. The enemy will be busy with the Phalanx avatars 99% of the time. If you position properly, the odds that you'll die are extremely low. Long Arm of the Law was my passive of choice, since with the gear that I have, I'm really lagging behind in crit damage, and the longer my army benefits from the boost of the critical rune, the better. As for the item changes, first I must note an important change to an older item. The Baleful Remnant, the crucial weapon for the build, got a massive quality of life change that instantly shot up the viability of Lord Commander. Previously, you would only get a Phalanx to spawn if you dealt the killing blow to an enemy yourself, meaning if your teammate in a group or one of your bowmen got the kill, you got nothing out of the weapon. Now this is no longer the case. Assists to a kill will also count, and you can easily stack up the Phalanx avatars, which is incredible for this build. In the shield slot, I replaced the traditional two-hander favorite Hellskull with the shiny new Amazonian Parma. This shield not only looks fabulous, but also casts your Phalanx twice, so you get double the bowmen, 2 rows of Stampede, a second duo of bodyguards. You get what I mean. After the Rift demonstration, I added a short preview of the effect with each rune, so you can check it out if you'd like. I did not get a stellar roll of the new shield, but it does the job just fine. The only thing that puzzles me is why is it not considered a Crusader specific shield? We are the only class that can benefit from the unique property, so that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And not being a Crusader shield means not being able to roll cooldown reduction on it, which is a real shame. For now, I'm thinking this is a bug or an oversight, but who knows? In the jewelry department, I made sort of a controversial change by replacing the physical damage stone of Jordan for the new Eternal Union ring. Now this ring doubles the duration of your phalanx, which makes the Baleful Remnant shine as a weapon. It also fixes the bowman firmly behind your back and generally makes the army flavor of this build stick out and feel really epic. The downside is you lose a crap ton of damage, to a degree that it makes me wish that the unique property was attached to a bracer or a belt instead, but I guess we can't have it all. If it's any consolation, with this setup and an afternoon of testing, the pros from both rings basically evened each other out and I was not significantly faster with one or the other. However, I was not using a spender which would tilt the scales in favor of the Stone of Jordan. I just wish I could benefit from both somehow. Finally, I wanted to mention the game-changing legendary gems. If you haven't been keeping up with the PTR, you get those from Rift Guardians at the end of Greater Rifts. The legendary gems can only be socketed into jewelry, which means a maximum of 3 for each of your rings and the amulet. You can only use one of a type and you can upgrade them at the end of your Greater Rift runs. What's legendary about them is basically that they add a unique property. For example, the Enforcer increases the crit chance of your pets, and after sufficient upgrading will also make your pets unkillable, which is, I guess, more useful for witch doctors and barbarians. To avoid diluting the impressions of the Phalanx performance, I stuck to using just the pet-related gem. Well, that about covers it for my impressions on the bright future of the Lord Commander build. A lot of optimization can be done and will be done, but I think the potential is pretty evident even with this preliminary setup. Blizzard have definitely been nailing it with the Crusader over the last few patches. Lord Commander is shaping up to be my favorite group spec, my favorite Rift farming spec, and definitely the most flavorful of them all. I hope you liked what you saw, and if you did, I would appreciate your subscription to my channel. I leave you with another minute of rifting and the Amazonian Parma demonstration at the very end. Keep in touch with the Twitter and Facebook that I link below, and I'll see you guys next time.
Not ready yet. My wrath is low.